In today's video, I'm going to share with you how to create a massive floral bouquet with faux orchids, greeneries, hedge bowls. You're gonna love it. Keep watching. Hello everyone, welcome back to Ramon at home. I'm so excited you're here today because in today's video, I'm going to share with you how to create an easy and elegant floral arrangement with silk flowers that is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. You guys, my only intention right now is to share with you everything I've learned as a floral designer for over 15 years. I worked in various flower shops, design centers, and event centers, and so now I'm trying to pass along all of this information to you. So if you are interested in how to do floral arrangements, how to do wedding work, how to do beautiful arrangements for your home, or if you're trying to sell them, I'm going to teach all of that to you, so stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends because it is free and it really helps this channel. While you subscribe, don't forget to turn the notification bell because you will not want to miss all of the upcoming floral design for beginners series. Every episode is better than the best. I promise you, by the time we're done with this series, you too will be a floral designer that will design gorgeous arrangements. With all of that said, we are going to design a gorgeous and large, super easy orchid arrangement. Keep watching. All right, everyone, so to create this beautiful and large silk floral arrangement with orchids, what we're going to need is 7 stems of white orchids, and all of the florals and greenery are from our friends at David Christopher's. Remember, they're offering you 10% off on your entire purchase on their website, so I'm gonna put their information down below. You can also find these orchid foliages on their website. We're gonna be using 4 of those. I'm going to be using some ferns to give our arrangement some height, some foam that I'm going to be using as a filler. I'm going to use 3 blocks of foam, florist foam that is. I'm gonna use a little piece of wood that is going to be our base. And also I got some fresh moss from Walmart. You know that I love the Walmart moss. It is affordable and then also it is super easy to use. I'm going to be using some of these bamboo sticks. You guys can find this at Home Depot, Walmart, or even some grocery stores because right now they are available since the gardening season is just starting. And the other thing I'm going to need is going to be some florist tape. This particular one is from Shinoda Design Center. This is a specialty tape for floral design. Also, I'm going to be using my wire cutters right here, always at the hand. I'm going to clear my surface right here to get started with step number 1 on how to create a massive and gorgeous floral arrangement with orchids. Keep watching. All right, so the first step is going to be to attach our foam into this piece of wood, which is going to be the base for our arrangement. So I cut out a piece of wood that is going to fit perfectly inside our container. In this case, this beautiful dough ball that I've had for many years, but you also can find some dough balls at David Christopher's. They have a great selection. I know, you know what, I'm going to order me one because I really do think they do come in handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take 2 of these foams out and I'm gonna get my florist tape. Now this is the floral tape that we use in the industry because it really grips, you guys. So what we're going to do is I'm gonna attach right here, as you can see, and then I'm going to go around maybe twice, making sure that I attach very good. The first one's always cricket when I do this, but then we'll get better at that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna attach a second one. So basically just pull your tape. You guys, the mechanics on your arrangements are so important because it is what determines your job. When I worked as a florist, I worked as a florist for 15 years, and the very first thing that they taught me is how to properly do mechanics. Because if you don't know your mechanics, you know, my boss used to say poor prep leads to poor performance. So you have to know how to do all of these things if you're trying to be a floral designer or a florist, or if you're just out there doing jobs like weddings and things for other people where you don't want to look unprofessional, right? You want to look professional. And to do that, you have to have all of your tools and all of your techniques ready. So this is going to look like this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my container, which is going to be, like I said, this large dough ball. And like I said, this is going to perfectly fit inside, as you guys can see right here. So now I'm gonna bring my greeneries and my other accessories so we can get started with this. Keep watching. All right, so I am back, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of this palm. I'm gonna put it all right here on the side, and I'm gonna start inserting. I'm gonna do the longer ones first because I do want to cover the perimeter. So I'm gonna remember what happens on the right happens on the left, and I'm always trying to mimic this motion, so that way I have a very well balanced bouquet. So I'm going to add another one right here. So what I'm gonna try to do is just cover my mechanics as much as I can with this beautiful palm. Now this palm is from Hobby Lobby, and if you've been following this channel, you know that this is my favorite greenery to work with because it really covers the mechanics and it is very affordable. I think one of these bushes is only about $12, so hey, that's a really good price. Okay, so I'm going to continue going right here. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left, so you just mimic around. And because this dough ball is really large, I can just go ahead and spin it around and cover my mechanics. Like if I do the front, now I want to come back here and do the back. And then immediately, remember, just as soon as you're done inserting one, go ahead and insert the other one. So I'm gonna insert one right here. And then I'm gonna spin around. And that is the beauty of having your Lazy Susan, that you can really do these things. So I'm gonna bring one right here to the middle. So I'm gonna start covering the top. And I have these large ones I like to keep for the perimeter because they really do add a lot of depth into my bouquet. I'm gonna do one right here to cover that. And then with the rest, I'm gonna start adding right here to the top. And as you guys can see, there is no rhyme or reason. Just be sure to, what happens on the right happens on the left, and everything that goes up always has to come down. And the way I like to do that is by spilling it forward like this. So I'm gonna add this guy right here. So this is what it looks like on the inside right now. As you guys can see, it covers some of our mechanics. I can still see the foam, but remember we have that moss that we're going to be using towards the end. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add some hive to my arrangements, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring some of these beautiful ferns. You guys, this looks so real. This will look so pretty just on some terracotta pots. You know what, I just gave myself an idea for an upcoming project. So what I'm going to do is it has this stem right here. I'm gonna insert this guy right here. Look at that, how absolutely pretty. But what you do want to do is you want to fluff this and make sure that all of this shows. Make sure that all of your ferns are flying solo. That way you get most of the bang for your buck. So I'm gonna add this guy right about here. Going all the way down. So far, I love the way this looks. It is very natural looking. I also love it. You know what, I'm gonna move this guy over a little this way. Like this, so that way they're kind of catty corner when we add our orchids. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna add some other greeneries and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, I am back with some other types of greeneries. In this case, I have this beautiful fern that I'm just gonna go ahead and add right here. You know what, I'm gonna actually cut it. I'm gonna cut some of it. So I'm gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of it. So that way I can have actually 6. Let's do a 6th one. So I can have equals on both sides. So I'm gonna add this guy right here. Make sure that goes all the way down. And I'm gonna grab the ones that I cut. Then I'm gonna go over to this side. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. And so as you guys can see, I didn't have 2, but what I just did is I cut enough of it to make it look like I have the same proportion on the other side. It is always about balance when you are designing a floral arrangement or a bouquet or just some greenery arrangement like this one. What you want to do is make sure that you have the exact same amount or equal amount on each side of the same material. That way it looks very well balanced. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this guy right here, put it right here, and see this brings the same color as over here. And then I have this cute little fern, and because I have some here in the middle, so what I'm going to do is actually I'm gonna cut this a little bit shorter. Don't be afraid to cut your good quality ferns and greeneries because it really does add a lot more to your bouquet. So I'm gonna add this guy right here in the middle. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, I have these ones and I don't know if I want to add them. You know what, I am but I'm going to go ahead and cut those as well. I just went through my stash, you guys. I went through all of my stuff that I have. And see, this is going to serve as a filler. This is a boxwood. So I'm gonna put this guy right here. And it has a different texture and color. So what I was gonna do is gonna create a lot of depth and dimension. But what I was gonna tell you is I just went through all my stash and I just went and looked for things I already had to combine with the things that I bought for this particular project. All right, so I feel like that is good. You know, the more fern you put, the more beautiful it's going to look, really. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add these few ferns that I have into my book. Okay, that's good. I feel like quit while you're ahead. All right, you guys, so this is what it looks like with all of the greeneries. I think it looks absolutely spectacular. Like I said, you have to make sure that all of these guys are flying solo, so that way it looks more beautiful. But it looks beautiful. This will look so pretty on a mantle as it is. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring our orchids, which is going to really make this pop and look natural. So let me get those ready and I'll be right back with you. All right, you guys, so I am back and I'm going to add this bamboo sticks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get a few of them out from the bundle and lay the rest of them down. Sorry for the noise. And so what I want to do is I want to cut these guys in half. So for that I think my wire cutters will do. Before we continue with this video, I want to recommend a playlist of other floral design DIY videos that is going to be linked down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to check out last week's arrangement. It was so beautiful. A beautiful blue and white with an accent of orange. It was absolutely gorgeous. That also is going to be in the description box below. All right, let's continue with this DIY. Okay, now I should be able to, yep. All right, so that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and put one right here and I'm gonna push all the way down like that, making sure that goes on my foam. You want to make sure that it's secure in there. There you go. So we have one right there. Then I'm going to do another one right here. I'm going to go through the fern like that. So there's two. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one right here and this other one down in here. So we have 4 of these sticks. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my orchids. They come straight like this out of the package. But what I want to do is I want to grab where the last orchid is. Then I'm going to bend down like this to give it a more natural look. And I'm going to attach this guy right next to my stick right here. Like this. And I'm going to do the same with this one. But what I want to do is remember to always grab it and go like this to give it that natural look, because orchids do tend to flop like that. Then I'm gonna add another one right here about the same height, and I'm gonna do the same on the other side real quick. So remember to bend your orchid a little bit. I'm gonna go over on this side like this, but on this side what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do one inside and one on the outside. So I'm gonna grab my orchid and bend. And then I'm gonna grab right here, right where the stick is. I'm gonna go like this, right about there. And I have this one that has a few less blooms. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bend the blooms and I'm gonna go maybe over on this side. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna go all the way down, making sure they go through the foam. And sometimes it gets tough because of the foliages that are there, they're on the way. So just find your way on that foam and push down. It's a tough job, but if I can do it, so can you, I promise. I'm gonna spin that around, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm gonna do one more. This one I'm gonna give it a little bit of a curvature like this, and I want this one to be the tallest one on this side. So what I'm going to do is just attach right here, make sure that I go through my foam like that. How perfect is this, you guys? Look how big and lavish this is. Isn't this absolutely stunning? But we're not done. We're gonna bring a few more compliments and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, so I am back. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna add our David Christopher foliage. This is an orchid foliage and look how absolutely stunning this is, you guys. This is so pretty. So for this particular one, I'm gonna cut a little bit shorter. And what I'm going to is I'm gonna put it right in here between all of these fern. I'm gonna poke it going all the way, and look at that. That just gives it that beautiful orchid look. So what I'm going to is I'm gonna grab one right here on my right. I'm gonna go to my left, right in the middle. Where's my middle? Right here, like this. And then I'm gonna go over to this side and I'm gonna poke another one not without giving it a little bit of a curvature, like this. You wanna make him look natural. So what I'm going to is I'm gonna grab this guy right here and poke into my foam, making sure that I go into the container. So now I do have one last item I want to add, you guys. Look how cool are these boxwood spheres from David Christopher's, which I have not even taken the tags off. And like I said, David Christopher is offering you guys 10% off on your entire purchase. They were so gracious to let us use the code. Remember, during Christmas, they used the code 10% or Ramon 10 to use 10% off. So they were gracious enough to offer it again to us. So I'm really thankful that they let you guys shop the website and use a code. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab a wire. This is going to be a 20 gauge wire, and I'm gonna cut it in half. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do kind of like a hook, like this. And that's going to hook into our sphere. We're gonna go through, look at that. Okay, then we're gonna close that hook. And so this we're going to use to poke into our foam. So I'm gonna put one right here on this side. Look how adorable that is. So we're gonna put one right there, and I'm gonna hook another one, but in this case, I'm going to do the smaller one. Close that hook, oops, it ran away. So I'm gonna grab this hook, poke it through, bring it over, just making sure that it latches onto something in there, and look. And so now I'm going to add this guy right here, like that. And I'm going to add a third one over on this side, but I ran out of wire. So now I'm gonna bring out another wire I haven't already made. That's the beauty of having all your tools at the ready. Look at that. I'm always telling you guys to have all of your tools at the ready. So I'm going to go right here in the middle, right about there, like that. So now you have a gorgeous orchid arrangement that can go on a mantle. It can go on an entryway table. It is super natural looking. I am going to bring the last detail and I'll be right back, so keep watching. All right, everyone, so after closer inspection to my arrangement, I decided that I need one more orchid over here because it's going to be a 360 view. So I'm gonna grab my last orchid. So I will have used a total of 7 orchids, and I'm going to poke it right on this side, right here. Remember to get as close as you can to that bamboo stick because that's going to be our core. So now what I'm going to is I grab this raffia. Let me see, where's my scissors? Over here. This raffia you can find at any craft store. I have a lot of it because I did a Halloween project last year that I never even got to show you guys. So you might be able to see it this year. I did some Halloween videos that I never put out because it's just like, it seems like every year the months just go by quicker and quicker. And so I just make them and then I never release them. So what I'm going to is I'm gonna fold this in half. I want it to be very thick because it is the little detail. So we're gonna cut this like this in half so we have a little bundle. And so what you're going to do is you're going to grab your orchid and you're gonna just tie it together like this, really tight, and just make sure that you make a double knot so it doesn't come crashing down. So you just need it long enough to make a knot. And it's okay to look a little messy like that. I actually like that even better because orchids are a very natural plant and it's very organic looking. And so that's what I'm going for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a knot on every single orchid attaching to the bamboo stick. I'll be right back with you to give you the finished look. Keep watching. You guys, how absolutely gorgeous and massive is this beautiful arrangement with orchids, with fern, with beautiful hedge balls of boxwood, the beautiful orchid foliages and all of the palm. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love the way this looks. Like I mentioned to you before, this would be perfect for a mantelpiece. This would be great for a display somewhere in your home, perhaps even an entryway table. How absolutely stunning is this? I really hope that you learn a few tricks, that you will give it a try, and that you will be wowed by how absolutely stunning this is. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and remember to come back next week for yet another floral design for beginners class. You guys, my only goal is to teach you everything that I know about floral design so you too can create arrangements like this, feel comfortable about doing it, and just enjoy them all year round. Thank you for watching, consider subscribing, and as always, you can watch more videos right now. Until next time, bye.